Hello, I'm Cara Stanford, and this is the Marketing Spaces. So we're carrying on looking at metrics unmuddled. This is the second video. The first one is about outcome and activity measurements. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at that short video, please do so. So causality or correlation, causal or correlative. I absolutely love sharing this. This was one of those theories that when I found out about it, my mind was blown. I distinctly remember it. I was 22 years old. I was in my first marketing job, and my manager, Steve McLaughlin, sat down and said, "Do you know the difference between a causal link and a correlative link?" And I thought, no, not a clue. So he explained it to me. So let's get started. A causal link. I do X and Y happens. Direct cause and effect. Some definite causal links in our lives. I dropped the bowl and it broke. The bowl broke because I dropped it. I stubbed my toe and it hurt. Very definite. Flipped, my toe hurts because I snubbed it. With a causal link, X happened, which means that Y happens. Very direct link. We try to make causal links as humans, and some of them aren't right. For example, I send out one e-shot and 5 people buy. So what you're saying, if you're saying that this is a causal link, is because I sent out one e-shot, 5 people bought. Okay. I run one TV campaign and 500 people buy. So you're saying because I ran one TV campaign, 500 people bought. What we do as people, and I put other examples, I attend one show and 1,000 people sign up because of that one show. Because of that one show, 1,000 people signed up. The sales team make 3 phone calls and get 1 sale. So 3 phone calls means 1 sale. There isn't a direct causal link, because what this doesn't take into account is all the other activity that's been happening. What about all the other activities that you've been doing? All the other things that have taken place? If you did one activity only, if your marketing consisted of just one activity, any of those activities, would you get the same result? Would you get the same result? Is there just a direct link between you do that one activity and this happens? It's really, really unlikely. Really, in fact, I'm not even going to say really unlikely. It's unlikely. It's not, because one thing, marketing is not a one tactic wonder. And people will tell you this. This is where you get magic bullet marketing ideas. Marketing is a series of activities. We will look at that in the video on Is My Marketing Actually Working? That's where we get the challenge. So causal link, remind ourselves, X happens, which means that Y happens. So what if it's not causal, what is it? It's a correlative link. And when we look at correlation, we're saying, right, I did this. So think of it as a parallel line. That's the image I have there, 2 parallel lines. I did this, and at the same time, this happened. That's a correlation. So does that mean that what I did made it happen? Or was it a coincidence? So when you're looking at correlation, it's all about looking at the strength of the associations. How strong are the associations? Some of these associations could be rubbish. So how realistic are these associations? Let's look at some correlative evidence with a really strong association. We all know that storks bring babies. It's really obvious. In spring, across Central Europe, in the warmer countries, every year around April time, the storks arrive and they fly and they nest on the rooftops, and they're beautiful big birds. And at the same time, every spring in Europe, there's a baby boom. Good time of year to be born, spring, across Central Europe. So clearly, the storks arrive, the babies come. Storks are bringing babies. 2 things are happening at the same time. An association is made to say, well, the storks are here, the babies are here. Storks bring babies. We know it's not true, though. We know it's not true. Actually, when you look at why there's a baby boom in certain Central European countries in spring, it's to do with, well, what happened 9 months before? Were there festivals 9 months before? Culturally, is it a more popular month to get married 9 months before? What's going on? What's going on? It's not to do with Storks. So do not confuse correlation with causality. And whenever somebody says, well, we did this and this happened as a result, think, oh, is that a causal link or is it a correlative link? And if it's a correlative link, how strong is the association? What does this mean for our marketing? Right, let's get off Storks and babies. Let's think about our marketing. So what that means is that when it comes to marketing, we are doing a lot of activities. As we looked at in the previous video, we are doing marketing activities. As we do our marketing activities, things happen. Now, what we really want to be able to say is, I did this absolute kick-ass marketing campaign, and as a result, I brought in 5 new clients. I brought in 100 new members. What we are looking at is a lot of correlative measurements. We're drawing a lot of correlation. We're drawing a lot of strength of the associations. So, questions to ask yourself. Did that outcome, remember we looked at outcomes last time, did that outcome happen because of my actions? How strong is the link between my actions and the result? How can I prove that link? How many marketing activities do I need to do to create that same outcome? How many marketing actions does it take? Does one prospective client have to take? Now, clients are a nightmare. You'll say to them, how did you find out about us? And they'll go, oh, I saw you at a show. And then people who don't know much about marketing will go, oh, clearly going to a show works. We don't need to do anything else. It's like, well, yeah, they didn't just see us at a show. They saw us on, they heard about us on the radio. They read that expert piece that we got positioned in the local newspaper. They actually engaged with our blog post. They attended a webinar and then they saw us at the show. And that was the last thing they did. And that was when they became a client. That's what they remember. So you have to work your way through this list. How strong is the link between my actions and the result? The way to get this is data. We have to look at data, and we have to look at data over a series of time. We have to look at the marketing activities we're doing and saying, we are doing these activities over a series of time. What's the difference? What's happening? Where is it changing? How much are we influencing the actions? Why does this actually matter? It matters because you need to know what you're measuring. Are you measuring activities or outcomes, as we looked at? Causal links or correlative links? And the reason I've got that beautiful twisted knot there is because if you think about our parallel lines as marketers, those lines are the activities that we set up. And what we want to do is we want them to come together to affect an outcome. We want them to come together to influence what somebody does. So we're often having to prove the strength of lots of our correlative links. And like that twisted cord, when it's all brought together, that's where the strengths come. 1 or 2 marketing activities on their own will not necessarily get the results you want. They won't. You know the expression, one swallow does not a summer make? One marketing tactic does not a marketing campaign make, and it does not drive marketing outcomes. So we're proving the strength of lots of correlative links. We have to do lots of things together over a certain period of time so that they come together and we get that outcome to make a difference. But it is correlation that we are dealing with as marketers. So could you please, if you want to, make space to consider what are the outcomes you're after for your marketing? What are the activities you're doing to drive those outcomes? And how can you prove that it's those activities that are having an impact? And you are looking at how strong are the associations. You might also want to think about what else could affect those outcomes. Because as we all know from having done our marketing audits, our customers operate in a world that impacts them. This is quite a big topic. Do take some time, and even if you're familiar with it, take some time. So next, we're going to be looking at, does my marketing actually make a difference? So we're going to bring together what we've looked at in these other 2 videos on metrics unmuddled. Thank you very much. I'm Cara Stanford, and this is the Marketing Spaces.